games. At this time, you go ahead and press the check marks on your scoring consoles. You will be on for tournament play. Coaches, just a reminder, please turn in your score sheets at the end of each 4-game set. You do not have to do it after each game. Please do at the end of each 4-game set. Your arrows are now up. Good luck at the board today.
Good morning and welcome back to Bowl TV for day number 2 of competition here at the National Collegiate Team Match Games, the 4th Tier 1 event of the 2019-2020 USBC Collegiate season. My name is Aaron Smith with USBC Communications, and welcome to day 2 of women's competition here at Bel Air Bowl in Belleville, Illinois. We are in store today for 5 4-game Baker sets, in addition to the 6 traditional games from yesterday. Total pinfall will determine our champions here. That will include a position round for the final round, with the top 4 teams being featured right here on lanes 15 through 18, our featured pairs here on Bowl TV. We do have a full recap of the team and individual stats, which we will get going momentarily, but let's introduce you to our teams and our Baker format for the rest of the tournament. From left moving right on lane 15, you will find Grand View. Over on 16, we have Lewis. 17, Lindenwood University. Then on 18, Rochester. Our 4 teams to start. Teams will bowl 2 games on one lane, and then switch for another 2 games to complete the Baker set on the other lane. So after 2 games, Lindenwood will go to 18, Rochester will go to 17. Teams received 15 minutes of warm-up on this 45-foot condition. It is the same pattern teams had bowled on yesterday, so we will be sure to share that across your screen momentarily so you can check out the oil pattern. If you're unfamiliar with a Baker competition, it is fast and furious. We will move through these games fairly quickly. Of course, today usually the travel day for teams as well to get back to their respective campuses, with classes resuming on Monday for most. So we should roll through these Baker sets fairly quickly, but for those of you new to Baker, it is 5 players bowling a traditional team game. So your leadoff bowler will bowl the 1st and the 6th frame. Your second bowler will bowl the 2nd and the 7th. Third bowler, 3rd and the 8th. Fourth bowler, 4th and the 9th. And then your 5th bowler will bowl the 5th and all-important 10th frame. So your team chemistry, your team unity, all really comes together to put together a good game. We've seen it before where with the traditional 5-player team games like we had yesterday, 1 or 2 players, if they happen to get hot, they can kind of hold up a team if a few of the other players are struggling. However, as you all know, you can quickly lose pins in the game of bowling. And a consistent effort across the board is needed to be really consistent throughout Baker competition, and what you need to do to put yourself in a position to make a run for this Tier 1 title, the only event going on Thanksgiving weekend here, so we hope everyone had a great holiday. Go ahead and review some of the team standings here in a moment. We'll make that accessible for everyone as well. And across the screen and in the chat as well. The team to beat after day number 1 was Mount Mercy. The Mustangs 61-71 hold a 165 pin lead over St. Ambrose, who's at 6,006. So those are the only 2 teams averaging better than 200 so far throughout competition. Wright State is in 3rd, 59-75. And there's a bit of a drop-off to Lindenwood, currently on our featured pair, in 4th, 57-41. West Texas A&M in 5th, 57-06. Baker, 6th, 56-56. Lewis is in 7th, 54-23. Grandview in 8th, 54-20. Newman in 9th, 54-19. So those three schools pretty close, and not too far behind that is Campbellsville, 53-95. Rochester also on our featured pair to start in 15th place, 5,017. Mount Mercy has led from game 1. They posted 11:04 their first game, and kind of cruised from there, but with all great challenges like this 45-foot condition, there are ups and downs, peaks and valleys, if you will. And for Mount Mercy, they kind of slowed down a little bit in Game 4 and Game 5. They allowed Wright State to turn a 220-plus pin deficit to less than 100. It was about 90 pins heading into Game 6. But for Wright State, they shot an okay game. They shot 950 and change, but Mount Mercy finished strong, basically gained 100 pins back on them. Shot 1060. Now find themselves with a nice lead with 20 bigger games left to go to claim their first Tier 1 title of the season. For the Mustangs, they have finished second in the power rankings at both the Mid-States Championships and the Midwest Collegiate Classics. So they've been super steady so far this season. They've looked good. It's a tough-looking team from my first impressions. And we'll learn a little bit more about their team steadiness in the individual standings. But as we wrap up game number 1 here, be sure to get these scores. Lindenwood finishing with 191. And as we mentioned, while they're just kind of chatting through all that, we're already done with game 1 basically. So so Baker does go quick. If you blink an eye, the game or 2 has gone by. 184 finish for Lewis here in game 1. Grandview with a 5-7 to shoot at. If they're able to convert, they can get to 178. We'll take the one for 177. And then Rochester getting ready for its 10th frame. Could strike out to get to 175. We'll have a little work to do with the washout to kick off frame number 10. Now, for those of you curious, there isn't any bonus pins for beating your opponent in this particular event, so everything is just total pinfall. If you happen to be matched up against a team who's close in the standings, obviously that's a great way to kind of keep track with how they're doing. But nice cover of the washout there. But there's not necessarily any additional bonus to defeating your opponent for a game or for a set or anything like that. So just please keep that in mind throughout the course of the day. No match play at this event. Tamara Robinson was the anchor yesterday for Rochester. And 158 finish will conclude game number 1. All right, we'll go ahead and share the individual scores. Here momentarily with you. So in the individual standings, our all-tournament team was based off the top 6 players. So for many events, it's the top 5. Here for the team match games, top 6 earn recognition. And the most consistent player in the field earned the MVP honors. That was Wright State's Masson Stifler. Games of 234, 199, 225, 227, 235, and 221. See, consistent. For a 1341 total, she was the only player on the women's side to eclipse the 1300 mark. It's a 223.5 average for Madison. Mount Mercy's a freshman, Ira Amunudin, was second with a 12.71. A pair of players from St. Ambrose were third and fourth in Caitlin Keith and Brianna Smith at 12.64 and 12.49 respectively. Mount Mercy's Cassidy Corey was fifth, 12.41, and then we had a tie for the final spot. Ashlyn Stolings from Wright State and Merlina San Nicolas from Lindenwood, both at 12.39. Rounding out the top 10 is Brittany Schwartz from Lindenwood, 12.34. And then Addie Nelson from St. Ambrose and Riley Blood from Mount Mercy, as well as Sydney Urban from Mount Mercy, all tied for ninth with 12.33. We mentioned at Mount Mercy leading the way. Their 5 starters all finished within the top 13 of the standings. So their coach, Andy Dirks, had essentially no substitutions. They came out of the gates firing, and he stuck with the same 5 players throughout competition. And to have the entire starting 5 in the top 15, it's actually a top 13, is pretty dominant showing for the Mustangs. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep that momentum. Of course, we get to bowl on the same pattern. So they performed very well on the fresh. So you'd have to think not going to make too many changes from that. They're just going to try and go out, execute the same game plan, and hope to find their way to lanes. I believe 15 and 16 is the 1-2 matchup when it's all said and done. For all the up-to-date details on the upcoming PBA Tour season, including breaking news, schedule, and ticket information, along with scoring from all events, be sure to head over to pba.com to follow the action live on the PBA network. Got a little Neil Diamond early in the morning here, courtesy of LU. Nearly a home event for the Lions, just over the border in Missouri, St. Charles. Not terribly far away for Lindenwood. However, this event hosted by McKendree University. Here on the Illinois side of the river. But Lindenwood, the 2018 Women's ITC champion. Also claimed the title in 2006. So one of the things we did yesterday is teams came to the featured pair for the first time, and we've already been introduced to Grandview and Rochester. They were on the featured pairs yesterday during the traditional 6-game block. But we kind of looked at where teams sat in the rankings so far here in the early portion of the 2019-2020 season. So we talked about Lindenwood, 2-time ITC champion, currently 9th in the power rankings. This is their third Tier 1 event of the season. They bowled the Midwest Collegiate Championships, finished 9th. And then a 6th place finish at the Mid-States tournament in the power rankings. They do have a win this season at the Lion Classic, along with a 2nd place finish at the Striking Knights Invitational. So at the moment, Lindenwood coming in 4th overall in the standings. So they're looking for their best finish here in a Tier 1, but they have some work to do if they want to get up any higher than that. They started the day about 230 pins out from 3rd, which is Wright State. So I have to say, so far, 191 in the first game and a chance to get into the 2 teens here. Nice shot there from Lewis University, makes it 4 in a row. They're going to have a chance to get into the 2-0s this game. So all the teams looking pretty comfortable here. After getting kind of the game 1 jitters out of the way. Final shot for Lewis on 16. Going to be 198 with the bucket on the final shot. 184, 198, first 2 games out of the gates. Trip of 2 for good measure, Lindenwood, 214. Rochester, 3-bagger in the middle of the game. They can still get to 216 this game. It's going to drop to 205 with the 4-pin. See teams preparing to switch lanes here. Fill ball left for Grandview. They can finish with 169. Good plays for that. 167. .194 with the missed single pin for Rochester. So teams will switch lanes now. For Lewis University, this is their first Tier 1 event of the season. They are a team that also competes in NCAA, so this looks like their 5th event of the season. They have a 1st place finish in the power rankings at the Crusader Classic, which featured 11 teams. So I want to say Lewis is a new university too. Let's double check that here. A new school to the collegiate scene. Or I might be crazy. 2nd year program is Lewis University. Currently this season, they're highlighted by Kayla Dench, averaging 191 so far through 3 events. Taking a look at the Grandview roster so far through the season. Hannah Duver has led the way in average through 4 events, 191 and change. Got Ariel Engel, top 5 finish at the 5 Seasons event. Sophomore for Grandview. For Rochester, just its second year back after taking a few years off of having a women's team. That leading the way in average so far. The early portion of the season, Tamara Robinson. And Destiny Masters has a tournament win this year for Rochester, winning the Warrior Classic, their first event of the year. For Lindenwood, we mentioned they had 2 players in the top 10 in the individual standings after yesterday. Merlina San Nicolas and Brittany Schwartz. So far through the season, Merlina leading the way in average for the Lions. Not too far behind Margie Gish. Also has 2 top 5 finishes. So we've come to kind of expect a Phil Vida-led group to be a consistent performer, and so for those of you just tuning in, this is game 3 of 4 of Baker's set 1. Teams have switched lanes, so this is their first game on these lanes. From left to right, Lewis University on 15, Grandview on 16, Rochester on 17, and Lindenwood on 18. Lindenwood currently the highest ranked team in the standings at the moment, in 4th place. And with this 45-foot condition, we see teams taking a pretty direct line to the pocket. Not seeing too many folks try to play the inside portion, just kind of try to trap the 1-3 pocket. But most either kind of pointing it at the 1-3 or the 1-2, or going very direct up the boards and creating a little bit of shape. Total of 19 teams in the field this weekend. Nice 4.79 conversion there from Grandview. For their 5th frame, I believe that was Hannah Duver. She was their anchor player yesterday when we caught them here on BullTV.com. Lindenwood doing a nice job of filling frames here in game 3, only with 2 strikes, but haven't given any frames away with an open. And that's really a big part of the dynamic here in Baker competition throughout the course of a 20-game block like we have today. Because the lanes are going to play different when you make the switch. Obviously, you're able to keep an eye on what's been working for your other program that you're matched up with, but not very often we see collegiate events, usually with tougher sport conditions, allow teams to really go too crazy. You know, you don't see a lot of 220, 225 averages as a team in Baker Tier 1 events. So filling those frames becomes very crucial, leaving stuff you can pick up. I started talking about that, and I brought bad luck upon the Lions. Missed 310 in the 7th, and now looking at it 4-6-7. Lewis first to finish game 3. They're at 151. So after 184 and 198, they're going to give a few pins back with the handful of opens there. Scoring pace for each team looks like it's dropping. Nice shot from the lines in the 9th frame. Can still get to 193. That would keep them right around a 200 average for their first 3 games. Put them at 598. .150 finish for Rochester. Chance to get to 173 for Lindenwood. 151 the max for Grandview. So the switching of lanes not the kindest to these 4 teams. 172 finish for Lindenwood. $150 for Grandview. So heading into our final Baker game of Baker set 1. The Grandview Vikings have gone 177, 167, and 150. Lewis University 184, 198, 151. Lindenwood 191, 214, 172. And Rochester 158, 194, and 150. As a reminder, if you're interested to see the teams coming to our featured pair throughout the course of the day prior to the position round, obviously we will not know who those teams are for sure until that time, but we do have the lane assignments available for the next 3 sets after this. So for Baker set number 2, we'll have Baker and Trine on 15 and 16, and then Iowa Western Community College and St. Ambrose on 17 and 18. For Baker set number 3, we'll feature Ball State and Wright State along with Campbellsville and Huntington. And then Baker set 4, we'll see a few of these teams once again. Lindenwood along with Minnesota State Mankato, Lawrence Tech, and a return trip to Bowl TV for Lewis University. Early double for the Vikings here in Game 4. The Lions looking to make it 3 in a row for their own. right, a fill ball away from being completed on 15 and 16. 178 for Grandview, 157 for Lewis. Tough finish for Lindenwood. They finished with 166. Rochester with the 10th frame left to go. .672 for Grandview. It's a 4-game total. .690 for Lewis University. .743 for the Lindenwood Lions. And for Rochester, they were heading into Game 4 with 502 for 3 games. So with good count, they'll be in the 650 range. So nothing too crazy score-wise here in Baker Set 1 here on our featured pairs. We kind of saw that yesterday, though, too, with in our traditional set. There were some bigger scores across the house, but then kind of over the course of the day, scores had picked up as teams got a little bit more comfortable on this 45-foot condition. Finishing with the strike. 152 gets Rochester to 654. All right, Baker Set 1 in the books. Baker Set 2 coming up next year on Bowl TV from the National Collegiate Team Match Games. Baker and Trine, along with Iowa Western Community College and St. Ambrose, will be next up here at Bel Air Bowl in Belleville, Illinois. A big shout out to Dale Strom, our tournament director, part of the staff here at Bel Air Bowl. They've been very cool, very awesome in helping us out this weekend, so making sure we were good to go for the live stream. So big thank you to Dale and his staff. Of course, the men's competition is taking place over at St. Clair Bowl in Fairview Heights, Illinois, which is about a 20-minute drive from where we're at right now, depending on if you make the lights, of course. Pretty cool downtown here in Belleville. They actually have like a little Christmas-themed festival. I don't know if a festival is the right word for it, but cool little downtown, though. They have a big tree up in the middle and like a few different things you can visit around the surrounding area. But over at St. Clair Bowl, you'll find Daniel Farish and Shannon Sellens bringing you the action for the men's competition, as they got a little bit earlier start than us. They're about a half hour ahead of us for getting underway. That's the kind of usual thing for events with multiple centers, because for some schools, obviously, they just have one mode of transportation for all the kids. If everyone has transported in bus, so just to make sure everyone gets to where they need to be, they usually stagger tournaments like that. So that's why we have a little bit later start here. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break as we get ready for Game 2. So thank you again for being part of the Bowl TV community and joining us here. As soon as we get an update on scores after Baker Set 1, we'll let you know. But for right now, hang tight as we wait for Baker Set 2, including Baker, Trine, Iowa Western CC, and St. Ambrose coming up next. from Sunday's competition, Team Match Games 2019, here on Bowl TV. All right, we are underway here. Baker set 2, game number 1. All of our teams now underway. From the far left of your screen in the orange and white and black as Baker University. On lane 15, on 16 we have Trine University. On 17 in the blue is Iowa Western Community College, and far right of your screen on lane 18 to start, St. Ambrose University. We're still awaiting a score update after Baker set number 1, which literally just ended. So it'll probably be a few more minutes before we get that. Heading into today's competition, St. Ambrose was in 2nd place overall. Baker was in 6th place. Iowa Western was 18th, and Trine was in 19th place. For St. Ambrose yesterday, we had 2 players in the top 5 and on the all-tournament team, including Brianna Smith, who just delivered the shot on 18. She was 4th. Caitlin Keith was 3rd. They had 1 additional player in the top 10, Addie Nelson, in 9th place. As we settle into game 1, once again, all Baker sets are 4 games, 2 on one lane and 2 on another lane. St. Ambrose currently 5th in the most recent power rankings. They do have a power rankings win at a Tier 1. That was at the Mid-States Championships in Wichita, Kansas. Along with a 3rd place finish at the Midwest Collegiate Championships. So off to a strong start so far this season. That's something that we kind of expected heading into the year. St. Ambrose has been a perennial contender at the ITC. Still looking for that breakthrough victory though. And it looks like we just had some new scores handed to us. We'll get those posted momentarily. But Looks like St. Ambrose has cut into that deficit a little bit. They're about 165 pins back entering competition now. They are less than 120, so chipping away here at the lead from Mount Mercy, but the Mustangs still in the overall lead. The top 10 currently: Mount Mercy, St. Ambrose, Wright State, Lindenwood. So nothing changed as far as placement there. West Texas A&M and Baker, your top 6. Newman, 7, Lewis, 8, and Grandview 9th, and Huntington 10th. Let's see if I can get that posted for everyone so they can see the most recent standings. But nice clean game so far for St. Ambrose. They've worked in an early 3-bagger, and Caitlin Keefe sets up the 10th frame for Brianna Smith, and a chance to get to 238 this game. Tough way to end the game there for St. Ambrose. Still get to 206, but leaving a few pins out there in the 10th. Baker's going to finish up at 178. Our other team still getting to the 10th frame. .133 finish for Iowa Western. Chance for 158 for Trine with a strike already in the 10th. So you can see the scores now in the chat and on your screen. The totals: Mount Mercy 69-56, St. Ambrose 68-38. Wright State falling back a little bit, 66-68. So it's kind of a two-team race now for that top spot, with Wright State now down almost 300 with 3 Baker sets left prior to the position round. Lindenwood 64-84, but still those top 3 look like they're kind of on line. Lindenwood has built up a little bit of a gap between them and West Texas A&M, 63-83, so 100 pins there. Baker 63-45, so they have a chance. They're within striking distance of 5th place. Newman 61-68, Lewis 61-13, Grandview 60-92, Huntington 60-80. The other teams in our featured pair: Iowa Western in 17th and Trine in 19th place. .145 final score for Trine. So St. Ambrose 206 leading the way. Once again, they're on lane 18. Baker all the way on 15, 178. Trine on 16, 145. And Iowa Western CC on lane 17 here for game 2. Baker set 2. Folks, we always want to let you know about great Bull TV content coming up, and one of them we haven't done in a while, but currently, hopefully, knocking on wood, is still going to be in the plans for next week. Is another trip to the International Training and Research Center for Earl's Journey to 900, season number 2. Next episode is tentatively scheduled for this upcoming Thursday, so we know you won't want to miss it the last time out. I know it's been a while, but made the move to plastic and had a nice set. I believe we were in the 740s, 730, 740s, so a lot of things to potentially work on and go on from there. So we'll be able to get you reacquainted with the technician, Tom Frenzel. And Neil Williams Jr. will be in town. And, of course, the individual throwing the ball, Earl, our enhanced automated robotic launcher. Looking to continue the journey to 900. So keep an eye out for that on the schedule once again. Tentatively scheduled for Thursday, right here, live show, no cuts, no edits, all the way through here on Bull TV. Nice shot there. Iowa Western CC looking to get something going after some struggles in game 1. Talked a little bit about St. Ambrose so far this season. Baker currently in the top 20. The power rankings, they have bowled one tier 1 up to this point, so this is their second They were 4th at the Mid-States. Have a top finish of 2nd this season through 6 events at the Southwest Intercollegiate Bowling Conference number 2. Iowa Western, 112th at the moment in the power rankings, but once again, we mentioned that there is quite a lot of moving and shaking in the standings for the second half. They've only bowled, this is their 5th event, 2nd Tier 1 event. They bowled the Mid-States, finished 22nd. Have a top finish of 7th this year at the Midland Warrior Open. And Trine in 118th. At the moment, they have a haven't bowled at a Tier 1 event, so this is their first of the season. 5th event overall for Trine University. Fill ball left to go for both St. Ambrose and Baker. Baker can get to 188, 183 for St. Ambrose. So far, 178 and 185 for Baker University. For St. Ambrose, 206 and 183. Again, both those teams vying for spots in the top 5. St. Ambrose already there and looking to make a run at the lead, and Baker just outside the top 5. Looking to make its move up. .165 for Iowa Western, so they improved that game as they switched to lane 18. St. Ambrose will move to 17. Trying a chance to get to 181 here in game 2. So they've improved from their game 1 performance. They had 145 to kick things off. Gonna get the first hit in the 10th, so they'll keep 181 max score in play. Game 3 underway on 17 and 18. Great run at the washout there, but one of the most frustrating opens in all of the sport. Just throwing the head pin around the 10 for the right-handers, or the head pin around the 7 for a left-hander. And trying to convert the washout. You do everything you're supposed to do, just the degree of the angle. So close, but just not quite right, and left with an open, but .179 finish for Trine. They'll switch lanes with Baker now. So through 2 games, we'll go from left to right where teams will be competing. Trine 145 and 179. Baker 178 and 185. St. Ambrose 206 and 183, and Iowa Western Community College 133 and 165. At the conclusion of today's competition, we will have our awards ceremony. We'll keep that live here on Bowl TV. Our all-tournament team, technically 7 players with a tie for 6th. And then get to meet our team champion. Once again, total pinfall. For those of you tuned in a little bit later, we bowled 6 traditional games yesterday here at the National Collegiate Team Match Games, a Tier 1 event on the USBC Collegiate schedule. The 4th overall Tier 1 event for the 2019-2020 season. And then today will be 5 4-game Baker sets, including the position round for the final one. So 6 traditional games, 20 Baker games, total pinfall will determine our champions. So there's no bracket, there's no cut necessarily. It's just who is the most consistent performer over the course of the weekend is going to get recognized as the champ. So far, the team has been Mount Mercy in the women's division. Nice cover there, the 3-9-10 for Baker University. Lane 16 and frame 6 of game 3 of Baker set 2. This is the team match games. National Collegiate Team Match Games, the full name. Women's competition taking place at Bel Air Bowl in Belleville, Illinois. Men's competition about 20 minutes away in Fairview Heights, Illinois at St. Clair Bowl. Both places just outside the St. Louis area. So in case you were unfamiliar, that's kind of our central location here. Some nice shots there. The last two from Baker, just kind of playing the outside portion of the lane, not 45 feet in length, not getting too crazy with the ball speed, just kind of letting it roll up into the 1-3. The double denied by the 10 pin there in the 8th. Looks like Campbellsville, a few pairs to our left, putting together a big game. Maybe in the 250s. They were just outside the top 10 in the 11th place, so opportunity to make a little run here. Try and clean through 8 frames. Caitlin Keith delivering a double for St. Ambrose. An opportunity to get into the 180s. And Megan Carpenter, the anchor for Baker University. .167 finish for Iowa Western. Back-to-back 183 games for St. Ambrose after a 206 start. .167 finish for Baker University, and chance for trying to get to 180. 178 finish for Trine, so nothing too crazy in game 3. To this point, we've only seen 2 games north of 200 on our featured pairs, and we are down to our final Baker game of Baker set 2, so we're playing tough so far. Teams might be struggling to get going. We've definitely seen some opportunities get away with some spare shooting miscues, but strikes have been tough to come by in bunches so far. If our team has been able to put together a few of them, they've unfortunately filled the other frames with some open frames along the way too. As we start the final game, looking ahead in the schedule for Baker set 3, we'll have Ball State and Wright State joining on 15 and 16, and Campbellsville and Huntington on 17 and 18. But first, unfinished business here. Final game of Baker set 2 underway. So again, a total of 5 Baker sets on the day. 5th will be a position round. So we will have our top 4 teams here in lanes 15 through 18. So nice break for Baker there. I'm starting to think this might be transition time for a few teams, and the opportunity for teams and players to potentially start migrating a little bit left. We didn't see crazy steep angles yesterday. You still kept the ball fairly in front of you when you made the move left. It seems like the players trying to play up the boards have a very small window at the moment.